this has been a crazy day. Well, I'm still in a shock mode, and I really never thought that Russia was going to invade Ukraine like this. So I'm still trying to make sense out of this event that it doesn't make any sense. But today's topic, as you can see, is that will North Korea stand with Russia in World War III? And obviously, we gotta do whatever it takes to prevent World War III. And if that happens with the modern technology and nuclear weapons, it's gonna be really most likely the end of humanity. So, but if it actually happens, then which side that North Korea will take? Thank you so much, Greg. Thank you everyone for joining today. I'm sure a lot of you in the shock. I did not predict this at all. And it just made me feel like, obviously it's very upsetting that the West and American government wasn't strong enough to, prevent Putin to invade Ukraine. And he's gonna kill so many innocent people. But also, it just shows that when you give this much power to a government and what they do with that power, it's unbelievable. I keep saying, it's just, people never drove into war by themselves. Usually the leaders with their ego and whatever their personal gains are, they're pushing people into having this kind of conflict. And there is a benefit of having a country and having a leader, and also there is such a heavy price that we have to pay to have a leader. And it just shows why it is so important for us to pick the right leader. And it shows clearly in Russia right now, Putin does not care about even his own citizens who's gonna die in this war. So thank you, Sarah. And so this is North Korea and Russia relationship goes back to way before. Since the founding of North Korea, way before, Stalin has been supporting North Korea because that was when communism and capitalism were, competing with each other. And therefore, Stalin designed North Korea and built North Korea. When 70 years ago, when they're having this bilateral relationship between North Korea and Russia, Soviet Union back then, they helped North Korea to build 93 factories. And that became the backbone of North Korea's industry, and heavily driven with metal and having an industry. And then they were heavily subsidizing North Korea economy. At some point, 60% of trade was happening between North Korea and Soviet Union. Therefore, whenever that was at the end of 80s, when the Soviet Union collapsed, when they stopped supporting North Korea, that's when the Great Famine began. And when I was growing up in the country, I was experiencing malnutrition. And then after that time passed, when the Putin came into power, he met up with Kim Jong-il as well as Kim Jong-un. They normalized a relationship. And therefore, North Korea has an obligation to fight for Russia, which is their ally. So because of that, if there's a World War III gonna happen, North Korea will be fighting on the side of Russia along with China. And what scares me the most is these countries have nuclear weapons. And the things that North Korea gonna learn from this conflict is two main things. First thing, they actually gained few things from this. First of all, now America and the West became so busy with the Ukraine, North Korea can go ahead and do whatever missile test they want to do because America has no time to deal with North Korea. So that is North Korea will take advantage of this chance when West is being very, important. They are putting so much energy focusing on Ukraine and resolving this issue. But another thing that North Korea watch out from this event is that one, how strongly America stands with their allies, because North Korea's eventual goal is attacking South Korea, invade South Korea. They invaded South Korea already in 1950 during the Korean War. Kim Il-sung with the help of Stalin and China, he went invaded South Korea, and then America came and defended South Korea, and that's how we were able to preserve democracy in half of Korea. And this time, North Korea will watch out. Is it going to be like Afghanistan? Or is it, and China will see it too. I mean, now, after Ukraine, next country is gonna go for is Taiwan, right? China wants that. And they will see the US actually how strong they are committed to this commitment for their allies. And the second lesson that North Korea learned from the Korean crisis is that no matter what happens, you should never give up nukes. And when Ukraine was coming out of Soviet Union, they gave up nukes, right, to normalizing relations and joining the Western European countries. And when the countries is so weak and they don't have the capability to defend themselves, and now North Korea knows why they cannot get rid of their nukes even more. They are never gonna give up their nuclear dream after this. So let me answer some questions. So, challenge. So good evening from Sweden. You think that Kim Jong-un will take advantage of this situation in some way? In that case, how? I know that was great because I just answered you, that it's a great opportunity for Kim Jong-un to test missiles right now. And also it's a great opportunity for Kim Jong-un to, really see how his future strategy is gonna be if America stand for their allies or not. And if not, then North Korea will go ahead and invade South Korea, who does not have a nuclear power, like nuclear weapons. And so how will this be affecting North Korea, you think? Thank you. I mean, how this is gonna affect, nothing gonna change for North Korean case. And whenever America is being distracted and then losing resources, it's a good thing for North Korea. And right now, this is a perfect opportunity for North Korea to develop their nuclear weapons and prepare for the next move. And at any moment, all these countries' goal is eliminating free democratic countries like South Korea and making every human being enslaved to their governments. And therefore, this is why it's clear to me is that why am I a human rights activist? Why am I fighting for freedom? And of course, you can fight for a lot of things. A lot of people fight for climate change, animals' rights. And to me we know that war is bad. Like even the word that I'm using, World War III, gives me so much, just this tension. I have a son, I don't want my child to grow up in this conflicted world. But then think about it. There was never time in human history, guys, the country that is free, democratic countries going into war with each other. Right now, Ukraine and Russia, Russia is not free. That's why they're going to war. There is never a time two democratic countries going into war and fighting and killing people. That is why it's literally making better world means all the countries become free. This is the only way we can truly have a world peace, and also having this security and the world that we like without war. That is the only way for every country to become having a democracy in their country. And it shows it's clear that why do we have to defend democracy in our homeland and in other countries? Because that is the only way we can guarantee the world peace.